subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِن جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا. Before responding, you have to verify the news. So he sent As-Sa'dayn.
Surah Al-Hujurat, yeah?
نعم, Surah Al-Hujurat, or the rooms. So he sent Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, وسعد ibn Ubadah, وعبد الله ibn Rawaha, 3 leaders of their own people. They went and they investigated the case, and they found that not only that Banu Qurayza was preparing themselves also to attack the Muslims after they return from this battle. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam marched down home, and he was ready to take off his clothes. Jibreel alayhi salam, Angel Gabriel, whom they hate a lot, came down and said, "What are you doing, O Muhammad?" He said, "I'm taking off my battle clothes." He said, "Not yet. The angels have not taken theirs yet off. You have to follow us to Banu Qurayza." And this is when the Prophet ﷺ says, "Whosoever believes in Allah and listens to my statement should not pray Asr here, should pray Asr in Banu Qurayza." This is a very immediate command that we have to march down to Banu Qurayza to teach them a lesson. So when they went there and they besieged them, by the way, the Confederates besieged the Muslims for almost for a whole month. So it was not just a rumor, no, it was something going on for a whole month. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes the critical situation of Muslims in Surah Al-Ahzab when He says, وَإِذْ زَاغَتِ الْأَبْصَارُ وَبَلَغَتِ الْقُلُوبُ الْحَنَاجِرُ وَتَظُنُّونَ بِاللَّهِ الظُّنُونَ. Remember what happened? Your eyes grew wild. You could not believe your eyes. That you're being sandwiched. There is a risk in front of you and a danger behind you in Al-Madinah. وَبَلَغَتِ الْقُلُوبُ الْحَنَاجِرُ. It is a metaphor that the hearts have reached to the throats. Great risk, great danger. وَتَظُنُّونَ بِاللَّهِ الظُّنُونَ. And people started thinking bad thoughts about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They will be defeated, Allah will not support them, this is it, and so on. So that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam marched down to Banu Qurayza, and they besieged them. There came Al-Aws, a tribe of the Muslims, and they said, "Ya Rasulullah, Banu Qurayza, the Jewish tribe, were our allies in Jahiliyyah before Islam. Would you give them a break and so on?" He said, "Would you accept the ruling, the judgment of your own leader, Sa'd ibn Mu'adh?" They all, "Fine." They said, "Fine, this is it." So they all agreed to agree and comply with the judgment of Sa'd ibn Mu'adh. Sa'd ibn Mu'adh came, and his ruling and his judgment was as the following. He said that their warriors should be killed for their teacher, because they betrayed. And they pose a great threat to the Muslims right on the battlefield. They provided the enemies with war supplies and with food. And they attacked our women and our children. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "Allahu Akbar, Ya Sa'd!" He just passed the ruling of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from above 7 heavens. And this is what happened. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we should not say that he killed 600 Jews. That's not true. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam only killed and executed the warriors who wanted to take the Muslims while they were right on the battlefield.
And it had nothing to do with being Jewish.
Exactly.
It had
or
nothing
otherwise,
to do
what Allah
with even being from the Bani Qurayza. It had to do
happened
with
to be
because of their guilt of the sins that they committed only.
correct.
So, if somebody steals, it doesn't matter who his father is.
In today's world, somebody wages a war against an innocent nation and takes out the life of over 1 million people, preemptive strike, for a lie. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam never did that. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam investigated the case. And when that was proven, he did not kill their women, nor did he kill their children, nor did he burn their homes. Mass destruction, collateral damage, he did not do any of that. Rather, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam accepted the ruling of Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, and he said,
who is from their own tribe.
No, he was not, but he was their ally. Sa'd ibn Mu'adh was the leader of Al-Aws. There were 2 main Arabic tribes, Al-Aws wal Khazraj.
Okay.
Okay, so he was in what you say, in a treaty with them, and they were their allies before Islam. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not mind any of that. And his ruling came that obviously these guys were perpetrators.
Yes.
If you like the term, we hear it a lot today. And perpetrators, they send them to military court and they end up executing them. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did not do any more than what would people do today.
Jazakallah khair, Shaykh. Okay, we've got a live call. Sister Rashan from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Sister, you're live and ask Huda your question, please, sister.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
I would like to know about the menstruation, Sheikh said not to touch the Quran during our menstruation. So I would like to know evidence from Sahih Hadith. And Sheikh said that we have to wear the gloves. So does the impurity goes by wearing the gloves, or does the impurity lies in the hands?
Okay.
And the second doubt is, Quran says it is Huda linnas. 25% of the woman's life is spent in menstruation. So what if she has some problems in life and she has to face problems, and why this privilege of consoling her heart by reading the Quran has been taken away from her? And when we do dawa work, and some sheikhs say we can give the translation of the Holy Quran to the non-Muslims. So are the Muslimah women worse than them during menstruation period? And some I have heard also that during menstruation we can recite the verses from the Holy Quran which we have memorized. So what is the difference in reading the Quran or reciting? Anyway, the meaning of the Quran is...
Okay, we'll go through all those, inshallah. Jazakallah, sister.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Brother Fasir now from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Also, Brother Fasir, you're live and ask Huda your question, please.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh, how are you?
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much for calling.
Sheikh, I want to know that which one of the following is better? Giving sadaqah jariyah to some trusted Muslim organization, or personally giving money to some needy people? And my second thing is on the behalf of my mother, that she wants the CDs for visitors at home. So can you please provide this?
Okay,
inshallah, we'll check on that. Wa jazakum.
Okay. That's Brother Fasir from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, our young viewer there. Jazakallah khair, brother, for your questions. Sheikh, we had a question before, and it's from Sister Jumana from the United Arab Emirates, regarding using beads to recite, to do dhikr and adhkar on, and some of these beads are called misbah in the Arab world. In other words, they're called rosary beads. Sister wants to know, are we allowed to use this?
Since I like the viewers to enjoy talking to Sheikh Yusuf, I would try my utmost to make my answers very brief this episode, inshallah.
Okay.
As far as using beads in tasbih, or what we call it actually from the action of making tasbih, or say the tasbih, or the misbah as the Arab like to call it, it is neither bid'ah nor is it haram. But it is preferable that one should make tasbih on their finger joints, because there is a sound hadith that the Prophet ﷺ was addressing a group of women, and he said to them, اعقضن بالأنامل فإنهن مستنطقات, that your finger joints will be given the power of speaking out on the Day of Judgment. So they're going to say that, oh Allah, do not punish us because He used to make tasbih on us. So if we're talking about something that's allowed but there's something better, in this case we should adopt what's better. But it was mentioned that some people, some companions, some tabi'een, they used to count the pebbles or the stones to keep track.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to warn against one thing. Some people take the misbah or the tasbih as a fashion. I've seen some people wearing the tasbih around their neck, as this is a symbol of being a Muslim, or following this sect of Islam. Islam should be only one party, following the Quran and the Sunnah. The tasbih does not represent anything. The misbah itself does not represent anything. But it is your sayings by the tongue and reflection by the heart. So that's why we've noticed some people making tasbih, keep moving the beads while they're talking, or watching a movie, or reading the news. So it's not the action of moving or counting on the tasbih, rather it is pondering the heart by the heart and saying it by the tongue. So the brief answer is, using the misbah is not haram, but it's preferable to make the tasbih on your finger joints.
Jazakallah khair. Okay, I've got this question from Sister Safar now from Jordan. Sister, you're live and ask her your question, please, sister.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I have a question for either one of the sheikhs who might be able to answer, inshallah. I am a revert from the United States, which I'm sure sheikhs identify with.
Then that question is to Sheikh Yusuf.
And I had moved to Jordan with my family, so my children can learn Arabic and Islam and the whole thing. But of course, my Christian family has had a major problem with that. What is the best thing to do and how to react to them as to not cut them ties, as is said in the Quran?
Okay. Jazakallah, sister.
I would kindly
Safa.
request Sheikh Yusuf
Yes.
to answer this question right now.
You've got the question there, Sheikh. How to treat your family if they're Christians and you've become a Muslim, you've moved away from them?
I want to always caution anyone who comes to Islam about this subject. I'm one of the people who made the big mistake in the beginning of being way too harsh on my relatives when I entered into Islam. I was what we call gung-ho, immediately telling everybody, Islam, you have to know it's Islam, you're going to go to hell. It's really the background that I had as being a preacher was coming over into being a Muslim. But actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very clear on this subject in numerous places, but I'll give the reference that I usually use is in Surah Luqman. If you go by the numbers like I do, it's chapter 31. And in here, Luqman is giving the advice to his son and telling him how important it is to obey the parents in everything except for what? Except if they have you to worship something of which you have no knowledge, meaning other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is a very clear statement, and so if you're understanding that Allah is saying obey them in everything except that, so this is clear, and we must give honor, dignity, respect, and really, as much as you can, give your love to them, even if they're attacking you, attacking Islam and so, because you realize these are the people that raised you up. These are the people that had you in the first place. Your mother carried you inside of her for all those months and then delivered you in such pain and grief that she suffered. It's mentioned in Quran like that. That she suffered, in giving childbirth to you. Now, who are you to come back on her and tell her, you have to believe like this, you have to believe like that? It's not for you to do that. If she would like to believe, would like to know, this is another subject. But the first thing is you have to give the good treatment to your parents. And if Allah wants, He can soften their hearts through your good behavior.
Correct.
And I highly recommend that everybody consider this, because when I was trying to give the dawah to my dad, I was really tough on him on one subject. I came to find out later I was wrong.
Subhanallah.
Twice. Wrong in the subject of what I was talking about, and wrong in the way I was treating him. And as soon as I shut my mouth, within just a few days, he accepted Islam.
Allah.
But the guy is from Allah.
Yeah.
What do you call that? Manhaj? In Arabic? Manhaj?
No.
The manhaj of Rasul was never like to be, aggressive to the people and tell them, hey, you better accept Islam, or to turn your back on them, to leave them. Because Allah tells us in the Quran about that, don't break the ties of the arham, which is the plural of raham. And raham is from the rahama, or the mercy.
Correct.
And in Arabic, instead of saying uterus or womb, you have a beautiful word. It means the place of mercy where you're conceived. Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it? It is.
I love Islam.
Sheikh Yusuf, I wanted to share this beautiful news with you. Before